We're kicking off the new season of Quick Aircraft Facts with Air Force One, the aircraft responsible for safely delivering the President of the United States to various destinations around the world. During the early days of air travel, presidents were still being transported by train and never left the country. Eventually, aviation technology improved, and air travel was seen as a safe and viable mode of transportation. The Douglas C-54 Skymaster, nicknamed the Sacred Cow, was the first aircraft specially used for presidential transport during the Frederick D. Roosevelt administration. If you want to get really technical, you can say it was in 1910 that a Wright Flyer flew President Theodore Roosevelt during a demonstration at a county fair. It would, technically, make it the first aircraft to fly a president, albeit one no longer in office. The Skymaster was chosen because the proposed C-87, which was a modified B-24 Liberator heavy bomber, didn't have a good safety record. The Secret Service also rejected the C-87 because they didn't want foreign nations to confuse the president's plane for a hostile bomber. After the death of Frederick D. Roosevelt, it was the VC-118 Independence that was used to transport Harry S. Truman. As America entered the jet age, the president's aircraft of choice was the Boeing 707, modified for presidential use. During the Kennedy administration, Air Force One received its iconic livery. The previous livery gave the aircraft a military feel, and Jackie Kennedy mentioned the livery should be redesigned. John Kennedy agreed, and contacted Raymond Loewy, who offered no charge to redesign the livery for Air Force One. His design used the two colors, steel blue to represent the early republic and presidency, and water blue to represent America's roots and future into the jet age. The current presidential transport is the VC-25, which is a modified Boeing 747 to include all the amenities the POTUS will need to effectively carry out tasks while in the air. Many of the new features were installed after the events that took place on 9/11. These features allow the POTUS to address the nation and communicate with necessary personnel while in the air. Prior to those updates, Air Force One would have to land at a base to carry these tasks out. Speaking of updates, Boom, Exosonic, and Hermeus Aerospace companies have been selected to test their versions of supersonic aircraft that could be used as the next Air Force One. These low-boom aircraft can reduce the amount of time it takes to fly around the world. For instance, it would take about 7 hours to fly from New York to Paris in a Boeing 747. These new aircraft aim to cut that travel time down to 90 minutes. May the best aircraft win so it can use the call sign Air Force One.